Is that something that you want? Is this something that you're willing to do and to move forward with or without the person? How to keep a long distance relationship strong. Hello, I am Toria Germain, and I have been married to my king for 7 years. This year it'll be 8 in August, and we actually started off as a long distance relationship. Now, when I met him, it was my freshman year in college at Tuskegee University, and we just met. And the next time that we hung out with our group of friends, mutual friends, he did something in our group of friends that I found to be quite profound, which is basically saying no to someone else. And I was just like, ooh. But we remained friends. Now, we stayed friends for about 5 years. And he eventually approached me and asked me on a date. However, I was in Alabama finishing up my degree and trying to pass the boards and things like that, while he was in Louisville, Kentucky, working as an engineer. And we started dating shortly after our first quote unquote date, and he asked me to be his girlfriend and things like that. So here are a couple of tips to hopefully build your long distance relationship and hopefully build that foundation that you may want, especially if you plan to become more than just girlfriend and boyfriend. All right, so one of the main things that you are going to want to do is lay a foundation of expectations. And especially if you're a woman, you're going to want to do this in a more feminine way, especially if you are exclusive. Like, this is what makes me happy. This is what I'm looking for. This, is what brings me joy. And giving appreciation for when he does do these things for you. Now, for instance, one of the things that I love is communication. I love clear communication. Like, tell me what's going on, how's it going, things like that. And I didn't even have to communicate this to him because that is one of his values as well. So when we were dating, he would often hit me up like, hey, how are you doing? What's going on? Like, what you got going on for today and things like that. And we would literally be on Skype from the time I got up until I had to like leave the house or something like that. And then I got back and I would take naps on Skype, go fall asleep on Skype, and we would just always have that kind of communication. Another thing is you may want to do fun things that you enjoy with that person while you are on the phone or in Skype, right? So for both of us, I would like to like study at that time because again, I was getting my degree and he would work on his car. And so we would sing to each other and things like that on the phone, on Skype. Um, Read poems. I would read poems to him and things like that. We would watch movies together. It was just a very fun kind of ordeal because we were doing things that we both enjoyed while also being together long distance, right? So, if you are going to each other's home, this is something fun, a little spicy that you may enjoy doing, which is leaving like little notes where they'll find it once you're gone. So you may say like, hey, I really love you, or hey, I can't wait till the next time that I'm able to come over. And you may put that in their drawer in their bathroom or somewhere in the closet that they'll find it after the fact. You may even want to put it in the kitchen in like a cupboard or something like that. And they open it and it's like, oh man, that you will stay on their mind, right? So that's something else that you can incorporate into your visit while you're there. Now, to also continue to build that relationship, you may want to understand each other's love languages, the 5 love languages, right? So for me, mine is gifts and words of affirmation, which can be done on the phone or through Skype. You know what I mean? So I remember after our first date, I received my first delivered bouquet of flowers from a gentleman, and it was an experience that I will never ever forget. And so to this day, I have a picture of those flowers, and he's given me more flowers since then, but it really struck me like, wow, wow. Physical touch, and that has to be done in person, right? So if you are trying to incorporate that while you are apart, What you can do is have like a certain blanket that you lay on and it smells like you, and that is like he lays on it or feels it, and it's like, okay, this is this is her favorite blanket, and he's able to touch it physically. You know what I mean? So that is a way that you can incorporate physical touch, or even like having certain linens at each other's home and things like that. But that gets into a little bit more. You got to be real exclusive for that. Like we're about to get married, be fiancés and things like that. Another aspect would be to have clothes there. Like you never know, he might be touching on your clothes, girl, while you're gone. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But it really depends on that person's love language. How do they feel loved? And how can they comfortably give love while you are away, while you aren't necessarily in physical contact with each other every single day? Now, to start the foundation of a long distance relationship, you're going to be honest, not only with your partner, but with yourself. Am I able and willing to do this? Can I be away from my partner for X amount of days, weeks, months, or even years? Is this something that I am able and willing to do? Right? Because if not, let's not waste any time, and let's let this person know like this isn't going to work for me, and just bounce. Another thing you're going to want to do is to understand what your pace is. And when I say that, it's like, how fast do we want to go with this? Is this something that we really want to do? Are we ready to take the next step? Because as you get to know this person, you're also vetting them for marriage, right? Long distance relationships can lead to marriage, such as my husband and myself. Is that something that you want? And if so, being very honest with yourself and that person. All right, I want to see you every day. If that is something that is doable, depending on your situation. Now, I have not been in a military relationship, but from my understanding, sometimes they go off and, do their thing for the military and they're not there, even when you're married. So it really just depends on, is that something that you want? Is this something that you're willing to do and to move forward with or without that person, depending on what it is that your goal may be? Another thing that you may want to look at is, since you guys are living in two different places, what is that person's goal? Do they want to move to a different state? Do they want to move to where you are? Do they want you to move to where they are? What are you all's separate goals, and what are the goals as a whole? And to see and compare, will this work in the long run? For me, I wanted to move to California and be a travel OT and whatnot. And then I realized I don't think I really want to do that. I want to be with my beau. And so I moved and we got married. So what are your goals? Where do you want to go? How and who do you want to be? And what are their goals? Another thing you may want to look at is children. Do you want children? Do they want children? What are your beliefs spiritually, and do you plan to teach your children that? Do you plan to teach them a mix of what you both may have going on separately? What are the goals, and to move forward with that? I hope these help. If you need more tips and tricks and whatnot for building a strong foundation, especially long distance or while married, and deepening that relationship, I do one-on-one mentoring for ladies who want to have a truly delicious life. All right, I love you.